Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is all about brushes, my favorite brushes, my brushes that I cannot live without, and I really tried to narrow it down to literally just like the ride or die brushes that are gonna make a huge difference in your makeup. So brushes are really important, honestly, because they are technically the tool that we use to create our art or our work on our face. That was a weird way to say that, but you know what I'm trying to say. You know, it's like, it's our tool. So it is really important to have high quality brushes. I feel like I have like a really good group to tackle different things, different issues, different types of products, everything like that. And I do have some affordable products in here. I mean, affordable brushes like from e.l.f., from Real Techniques. I also have some from Sigma. I have some from MAC. So I have like a good little variety that I genuinely do pick up every single day. This is exactly what I travel with. I actually travel with this whole thing nowadays. So this I got from e.l.f. I've had it for a long time, but I love it. It's a little brush holder, but it actually has sections in it. So you can see here it has 3 different sections for eyes, lips, and face. And I really like it because it just keeps everything kind of a little more organized, and it's it was very inexpensive when I bought it. So I will link it down below if they still have it. I think that they still do, but check the description box for all the links and stuff. Should we start with face brushes or eye brushes? Let's start with eye brushes, just because I feel like that's the thing that I get a lot of questions about. First and foremost, you gotta have some blending brushes. I think that's probably like the most important thing to have on hand. You can create any type of eye look as long as you have some good old blending brushes. So I have a couple that I wanted to tell you guys about. The first one being the Sigma Beauty Tapered Blending E40. This is such an OG brush, and for good reason. It has this beautiful taper to the tip, which allows you to get that very flawless airbrush finish to your blending shades right here in the crease. You can just airbrush it out all the way out, and it looks so good. I'm sure you guys have heard people talking about it because it's so good and they last forever. That's one thing that I will say about Sigma brushes. They last so well. The ferrules never come off. They never fray that much. Like, it's really, really high quality, and just the blend that you get is unsurpassed. I do also want to mention the F63 Airbrush blender. It's a little smaller than our E40 tapered blender, as you can see here, but this one gives, again, just a little bit more precision, but you still get that very airbrushed effect. These two are probably the main ones that I use. I also love this guy, MAC 224 blending brush. You can see this one is a little bit bigger even. It's a flatter and a little fluffier than even the E40. So this is what I would use to really airbrush those like top blending shades out. Typically what I would recommend to you guys is using the bigger, fluffier brushes on the edges of the eyes, and then as you get closer and closer and closer to the eyes, you use smaller brushes. Another blending brush that I would highly recommend that you guys have on hand is a MAC 217. So this is a completely different shape than any of these. These are what I would recommend for airbrushing those like main transition shades out. This is for really depositing color right here. This is what I use today to create this kind of like almost like ombre outer corner or outer edge right here. It's a really nice brush to deposit that color, but not have it look too crazy and still have it easily blend out. I also wanted to talk about this guy. So this is the Sigma Buff and Blend E39. If you work with a lot of cream products, cream eyeshadows, this is the brush that you need. This is my favorite brush for cream eyeshadows because it has a really nice dome shape. And on top of that, because of the type of bristles that this is, it blends out cream eyeshadows like a freaking dream. I have never used a brush that blends out cream eyeshadows as good as this one. You just dip the brush right here into the product, and I start off by just swiping it, and you can see it deposits so much color. Like, it's so pretty. And then you can go in and like blend out the edges so that you get that like seamless blend. Even if you're using like powders on top or on bottom, it's so pretty. Do you see how this side gets a little bit more airbrushed almost? That's what you want. So right here at the top, you want to deposit most of the color here, and then airbrush it into your transition shades or into your crease. You can even use this with no other transition shades if you're just wanting like really quick and easy makeup, and it is so bomb. I really like this brush actually for the eye area. This is the KKW Beauty Concealer brush actually. So this was obviously meant for concealer, but honestly, you can kind of do like whatever you feel is best with your brushes. Like, they're your tools, so you could totally use them for like whatever uses you want. So I use this to deposit my loose powder on top of my eye primer. So it's the best for getting that really smooth deposit, just getting a little quick airbrush in there, and then it makes other blending shades a lot easier to go on top of it. This is a liner brush that I've been using for years now, and one that I always recommend for gel liners if you're a gel liner kind of girl or guy. So this is the Sigma Wing Liner E6. It has such a precise little tip on there. You can see even this way, like, where is it? It's so thin, you can't even see it. Makes it super easy to create those wings. So you just dip it into your gel liner, obviously, and take the longer tip. So it almost has like a triangle tip on it, if you could see this. So you take the longer tip and place it directly at the lash line and then drag it up to the brow bone. And it creates the most perfect wing liner. So as far as brow brushes, these are the 3 that I want to talk about. First off, we have this guy, which is from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I think they discontinued this one. This is so old. I don't even remember the actual number of it. I think it was number 12, but I found this one from Milani. That actually came with their gel liner, but really good drugstore dupe. But the reason why I like these is because they're super, super precise. So you'll see that with my brushes, I always look for precision because that's obviously how you're gonna be depositing color onto your face. So you don't wanna just blotch it on there. You want to actually make sure to like keep your brushes like doing what you want and having the most control. So I love that brow brush. To clean up my brows or to carve up my brows, I always use this guy, which is the Sephora Collection Smudge Brush. Again, not meant for concealer, not meant for brow area, not meant for cleaning up the brows, but that's what I absolutely love it for. Like, I cannot put this one down. So you can see it just has this really teeny tiny little head on it that almost has like a slight curve to the top of it. So that's what makes it really easy to just get in there right in the arch and clean everything up. And then I always blend it out with this guy from Chella Beauty. I got this a long time ago, but this is a really nice brush for really blending out that concealer and just making sure everything looks nice and airbrushed. I do also like that it comes with a spoolie on the one end. Mine's a little bent, but I do like that. Like, I feel like it's nice to have that dual purpose. Pencil brush, so essential for eye makeup. Whenever I'm smoking out anything on the bottom lash line, this is what I use. Even if I want to smoke something out on the top, if I want to do like a smoky wing, this is the pencil brush that I reach for. So this is the Dose of Colors pencil brush. Again, the writing is all worn off because I use these brushes so often, but it's really good because, again, it's small, it's precise, it has a nice little tip on it, so you can really get nice and in there. And I like the quality of these bristles. They feel very soft yet firm. Like, it's the perfect consistency for the actual bristles. So highly recommend this guy if you're looking for a pencil brush. I also actually really like this one. This one is actually from Jouer. If you want something that's even more precise, almost like half the radius at the tip, then this is a good one. Again, it deposits color really well. This one's pretty firm, honestly. This is a lot softer. This one is very firm, but if you're going for that very, very like smoky, you want something that's gonna like pop underneath the eyes, then this is actually an amazing brush, the little pencil brush from Jouer. Okay, so moving on to the lid. The #1 brush that I would recommend to you guys is the Medium Sweeper E54 from Sigma. I'm sure you guys have seen me using this because it's pretty much all I use to pack product onto the lid. Unless it's a cream eyeshadow, then I use the Buff and Blend. But if it's like a powder eyeshadow, this is all I use because it's so easy and compact. You just press the product in and it blends out so nicely. Like, I really like the quality of these bristles too for powder products. Okay, so moving on to more so like detail brushes, I have 2 that I feel like are very essential if you're looking to put together like a little kit of your own. So this is the Morphe E36. This is actually my favorite brush for putting highlighter in the inner corners and on the brow bone. I said brow bone. Again, it has this little dome-like shape. You can see here, it's like a little mini circle. So that makes it super easy, obviously, to get right in here in the inner corners, and then also in here just because it's so small and precise. So that one's really nice. It also just makes every highlight look very blinding to me. I have the Sigma Waterline Liner E17, which I actually use to cover my lash band. This is my favorite brush to use for that because you can dip it into like, you know, like a black eyeshadow, just dip the brush straight in and then actually go in and try to conceal the lash line as much as possible. I already kind of did it today. It's hard to find brushes that are this small, honestly. So this one is a really good one to have. Plus it's flat. So when you're packing that black on, you're not getting a ton of fallout. It's just like packing it on very precisely. Moving on to face brushes. This IT Cosmetics brush, like I feel like this kind of changed my life, honestly. It is such a bomb foundation brush. The bristles are soft, they are easy to use, they blend out liquids and creams like a dream. Plus it's double-sided, so you get a concealer brush on one end and you get the foundation side on the other. So this is called the Heavenly Luxe Complexion Perfection #7 from IT Cosmetics, obviously. If you use this for your foundation, you'll see a difference. Like the first time I use it, I feel like my foundation just looks so much more flawless than ever before just because it's so like easy to blend, I guess you could say, and it leaves you with a very airbrushed finish. So the bristles on this are a little more flexible than most foundation brushes, I would say, but that's why it's quicker to blend. So really, really nice. I literally have like a backup of this one because I love it so much. I also love the Sigma Flat Kabuki F80. I feel like this is such an OG. This was probably like the first foundation brush I ever had. It still to this day is something that I keep in my makeup bag, in my brush kit, because it's so bomb. This is for full coverage foundation. Because it is flat, it doesn't really like soak up too much of the product. It just disperses the product in a very nice even layer. The bristles on this one are a little stiffer than the previous one that I mentioned, but again, if you are looking for that like very flawless full coverage look, this is your guy. Okay, so in your foundation kit, I also think it's important to just have like a good old flat foundation brush. So this is really nice because you can just create little lines, create an even layer on the skin, then blend it out. And I just feel like my foundation always looks a lot smoother and a lot less cakey or less likely to get cakey through the day when I do this technique because it applies in a lightweight layer. You know, you can always like layer it on and do like 2 layers, but when you start off thin, it always works out for the better. So highly recommend having something like this on hand that's like a flat foundation brush. Also just to clean up little areas or maybe to get in between the brows, like it's always just good to have on hand. My sponge, you guys, this is such a good sponge. This is the Eco Tool sponge. I literally get them at Target. They're very inexpensive and it is so good. It has a great texture to it. It's fluffy, it's bouncy, it blends things out like a dream, but on top of that, I really love the shape. It has 2 sides that are flattened, so you could see it's like longer flat and then shorter flats, and then the top is also flat. I use the shorter side for concealer and for baking, and then I'll take the flat edge and actually clean up like around the eyeshadow area up to the brows and also here to bake here. Such a bomb sponge because it really does blend out and I love the actual shape. I know you guys have probably heard me talk about this brush like a million times. It's the e.l.f. Blush Brush. This is the most amazing brush for right underneath the eyes. It just, do you see how it just fits so perfectly under here and even through the brow bone? It doesn't apply the powder in a cakey way. It always leaves me with a very flawless finish and I love the size. Plus it's e.l.f. so it's very inexpensive. I think these are like $3, I want to say. At least the last time I purchased it, I think it was $3, but they're definitely under $5. They're a very, very good price and super high quality. Like I've probably had this for like 3, 4, 5 years and it is going strong. Like the ferrule has never come off, it's never come apart, it's never come unglued, the bristles don't come out. It's bomb, you guys. So if there's one brush that you try out of this entire video, I honestly kind of recommend trying this one. As far as nose contour goes, I definitely recommend using an eyeshadow brush as your nose contour brush if you're using powder products, like a powder contour. These are a little bit more precise than anything else I've tried, as long as you're using an eyeshadow brush that has that like precise line to it. This one is from Dose of Colors. It's their large shader, I believe. Again, all the writings weren't off, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was called. I'll have everything linked down below, but this is great because it has this nice sizing to it. It's not too thin, it's not too thick, so it airbrushes everything out, and it just gets really nice and in there right there. So a couple more cheek products. This guy is the MAC 168. Again, I've been using this brush for years, and it's definitely one that I feel like is worth it. So this is my favorite powder contour brush. This is my favorite cream contour, and then this is powder contour. Look at that. It just fits so nicely under the cheeks, and also down here. You can wipe it along here to really snatch your face, and it disperses powders very airbrushed, almost like very flawlessly. I do feel like sometimes when my foundation is super wet, I have to press this brush into the skin so as not to lift up the foundation underneath, but it is a really good brush. And then for blush, this is the one that I would actually recommend. This is a newer brush to me, but I have fallen in love with it. So this is from Smashbox, and it's their Precise Blush. And I mean, literally, that name could have been made for me because, like I've been saying this entire time, like I love precision when it comes to my brushes. The main reason that I love it is because it is so precise. You can just pat it onto the skin, and it is so nice to just get a little zhuzh going right there. It's really nice because it is so small. You don't get those like clown cheeks at all, and you don't have to worry about like over blending or over like exposing your cheek to blush, basically. I also wanted to mention this guy from Morphe. This is the Morphe G40. This is actually a pretty versatile brush. You can use this for foundation, you can use this for concealer, you can also use this for cream contour, which is my personal favorite way to use it. It fits really nicely, like right there in the hollows. Do you see that? It fits so nicely under there. And you could actually use this for cream blush. So you guys know I really like the e.l.f. cream blush right now, and I just dip this into the pot and like literally just pat it into my cheekbones. With foundation, it's great because it's smaller. It's definitely on the smaller side compared to the Sigma F40. Like you could see the size difference, but you can get that precision. Now, speaking of precision, this is the best highlighter brush. This is the Sigma Strobing Fan F42, one that I've had on hand for years now. Literally ever since it came out, I have not been able to put this down pretty much. So this is great because it has that precision. It has a teeny tiny little fan on here, and you can just disperse the highlight as you want, like as much as you want. Finally, this guy right here, this is a big old powder brush. This is the Morphe E41. This is what I would recommend when you're just trying to disperse powder all over the face for just like a little bit more of a mattified look, or if you just want to set your makeup a little better. Obviously, we only really bake in the places that we need it, but I still like to apply powder all over the face just so that my makeup lasts a lot longer through the day. So this is normally what I use for that because it's so big and so easy to use and so quick to use. You can just take your powder, get it real nice and on there, and then just literally go in and whisk it all over. And because this brush is so fluffy, it doesn't ever disperse the powder like bam, you know? It's more like a whew. And then you can also bring this down the neck as well to like set any foundation that you put down there. So really good brush. Alrighty guys, so that is it for this video. Those are all the brushes that genuinely I feel like I cannot live without because they all do a different thing and they're all for different types of products. But I feel like the main thing to take away from this is precision and blending things out. Like those are like the two main keywords I feel of like getting that flawless finish. But yeah, hopefully you guys like this video. I know it was really highly requested, so I definitely wanted to do it. Let me know if you guys want any other videos as part of my beginner series because I'm really starting to get back into like my very in-depth tutorials. So yeah, let me know, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe down below, and turn on those notifications if you never want to miss a video. And you are beautiful inside out. Love you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next video.